Unfortunately, while Grace was definitely the object that was within this island that I kind of predicted, and I'm assuming everybody else pretty much predicted, I think the episode itself of Vivy Fluorite Ice Song, episode 6, did end up doing some really cool stuff with this particular idea. But let's jump right into it. See, as mentioned, so it turns out that the doctor was actually trying to, of course, get to Grace, who was put within this lab. It was interesting to note that it was cool because they actually had this directing job that they did with the cutscenes. Usually with the past cutscenes, they'll have like this little widescreen thing going on. And I kind of thought that my stream was messing up when it started glitching out and suddenly the widescreen disappears, and it turns out they pulled away the widescreen because this is the point in which the effects that Vivy is having on the world was changing history. So this is the point in which history changed. He got a phone call just after proposing to Grace, and come to find out, because of what Estella did on Sunrise, they seen potential in these sisters, so they decided to pull Grace away from him, away from her nursing job, and put her within the confines of this island that was being built. So this is why the island was being built early, was because they were using her to essentially protect and keep this island running. So that was, like I said, I thought that was kind of cool how they pulled away the widescreen just to kind of show that this is the point in which things are shifting. But yeah, Vivy made a pretty difficult call this episode. It was kind of one of those moments where you feel almost as if she's becoming heartless, but at the same time, according to what she's claiming, that this song was just kind of a recording rather than being an emotionally driven song, was her reasoning behind why she wanted to decide to go ahead and just, this needs to be stopped. She's no longer in there. She can't be pulled out. She's not herself. She's just playing a recording, basically. So let's basically cancel this and put an end to it. So, like I said, it was the point where she also kind of creates a differentiation between Diva and Vivy. Essentially, Diva is, yes, her original self, which was the one that was driven by the goal, which was to sing and make people smile. And Vivy, who is the one that is changing history, the one that is basically putting a stop to the catastrophe that will happen in the future. So she's almost creating a split personality here, which is kind of interesting. I also thought it was really interesting, and it was really cool. I really did like Grace's story overall. Granted, that was kind of a huge part of this episode, going into how she was a sister of Vivy, or Diva. She was one that was created to nurse, and that's why she chose that she would marry Psyche, is because she figured that would be a way to take care of a human going forward. She would be able to learn more about him, but also that it was him that she was choosing. Apparently, he was with her when he was with her when he was like a young kid, and his mother passed away, and she was taking care of him then, and he still remembered her in the future. But it was also cool that was kind of the point which was establishing the aspect of why the robots were welcoming this kind of almost nursery kind of welcoming center, the music, everything, the inspiration that Diva had on her. They loved her music. All these things were like an impact upon Grace that Diva had, and even still, almost creating an almost more concrete connection between Diva and Grace than even Psyche and Grace herself. So, kind of puts a lot more pressure on the decision that she has in just, this is my sister, basically. I'm going to put an end to her. So yeah, it wasn't a very heartwarming ending, especially the very ending, which was even more tragic, but I kind of assumed it would happen if all these things were true that they laid forward in the story. This is the ultimate conclusion that Psyche would end up having, which was to end his own life because he no longer had anything remaining. And it's almost heartbreaking because Diva's like, I wish you happiness. And he's like, how can I have happiness, basically? It's an impossibility at that point. But, yeah, she has like a breaking point at the very end. I'm really, really curious what they're going to take it to from there. Obviously, this is a breaking point for her. She keeps seeing death in front of her. She's no longer creating smiles that her whole goal was. And in seeing all this death, seeing all this tragedy, will she, at this point, break? Will she have a future going forward? Really curious because of the preview for the next episode didn't show Diva at all. So it almost insinuates this might be a breaking point for her. I'm curious if this other girl that's in the preview might be her, I don't know, rebuilt. I doubt it because I think they're kind of stuck on her character design. I don't know if they want to change her character design completely into a new character, but yeah, she doesn't look like she's doing too well at this point, so I'm really curious where they'll go from here going forward. But yeah, really a tragic episode. Was no rosy end to this. So yeah, change of mission, all that kind of stuff. Really cool moments in this episode. Really does hit on a lot of the AI stuff, AI to human relationships, and really kind of opens the door going forward. So yeah, we'll see where it goes from here, but that's my impressions on episode 6 of Vivy Fluorite Ice Song. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you probably guessed by now, I have moved. This is my new home. I'm still working on the lighting and everything, so I hope you guys will understand until everything kind of gets set in place and where I get my positioning and everything. But I hope you guys enjoyed it. Either way, if you did, please leave a like. Comment down below. Let me know what you thought of the episode. And as always, I hope you all enjoyed, and subscribe if you haven't already. And y'all take care.